Hey guys, how's it going? I'm going to show you how to take these sit flats and turn them into cute ballet flats with some elastic and some ribbon. So I'm going to show how to do it with just these. So first and foremost, you want to put on the flat and show how they fit. See, you can see these ones actually fit me pretty well. They rub just a little bit, so I'm going to fix that later, but right now I'm just going to do the simple thing and grab my elastic and stretch it across my foot. So you want to take it from about the ball of the foot down before the heel. So you want to just stretch it across like this and stretch it a little bit, not too much, just so it's comfortable. After you have that measured, you grab it with your finger, and then you take your scissors, and you cut. So the next part is actually dependent on you. Because if you want it to fit, let's say your shoes are a little too loose around the edges and you want it to fit better, you take it and you measure each one and make sure that it fits and that it helps conform the shoe to your actual foot. But for today, I'm just going to stick with easy, take my already measured bit, and then cut out 3 more. And 1 more. And just to show you actual measurement, it's going to be about, with on my little measure board, so it's going to be about 4.5 inches, just a little over. But once you stretch it that little bit, it's going to be about 5 inches for me. So there's my ribbon, my elastics, and they're going to go across like this. So you attach it to where you need it, right there and there. And you do the same thing with the other side. So right there and right there. I like to make sure that the elastics go around where the arch of the foot would be, right about here, just to help bring that fabric in so it doesn't hit the ground and stuff. So like that. Next, we're gonna do the ribbons. And the ribbon is super easy, just like before. And this one you can measure individually and put it in, or just do my method and just measure it once. Okay. So you have to put the shoe back on. And then you take this, you put it in right about here, so then it comes forward, and then you wrap it around the ankle a couple times. It's best to make sure that you are standing properly when you're doing this, so you just see how it works. But for y'all, it works like this. So you take it and you measure how much you're going to need, and I always go a little bit more than I think I'm going to need. So I'm going to go with that much. And then cut it on a diagonal. And that's my first ribbon. So again, just take it, test it, see how you like it. You normally, when you're doing this, you wrap it around at least twice to keep the shoe in place. Alright, now we have all the ribbons cut. So I have 4 ribbons here, and then the 4 for these. Alright, so I'm going to show you what kind of stitch we're going to go with today. So it's called a whip stitch, and it's going to be really simple. So it's what you're going to put around all the edges and through the middle of this. So I got my curved needles, I'm going to go with the smallest size because I don't need that big. So this one, so it's shaped like a little U. And then I'm grabbing some thread. So how I always measure out my thread is that I grab it in one hand and then undo it with the other until it reaches my arm span. And then I take my thread, cut it. I love these scissors. And then, of course, just thread it the normal way, if I can. There you go. So I pull it until the ends are connected. This is just how I do it. You can do it any way you want. It doesn't really matter. And then I tie the knot in the end. I do it along the lines of the French knot, where I just wrap it around my needle and then I pull it free. Alright, so I'm going to show you all how to do a whip stitch. So I already did two. I'm just going to show you the process. So you put it in through the back and out through the front. You pull it tight. Sometimes that happens. The thread's being burned. Alright, there you go. So then you do it one more time. Just show you. Go in through the back, out through the front, there you go. Pretty simple, and you just do that until you're done, and then you just tie the knot. So I have my matching white thread, my shoes, my elastics, and my ribbons. So the first things first is I'm going to mark with some pins where all the ribbons and elastics are going to go. So I don't have to sit there with my pins and needles deciding on where it should go and sit there with it on all day. So first things first, we're going to do these. So what I do is I put the shoe back on. There's a lot of shoe trying on today. Okay. And now you take this and stretch it, and if that looks just about right for you, then you take a pin. I'm going to use the yellow ones for these ones and mark it. So I always use the pin just to mark the edge. Like that. So it goes right there, and then you stretch across. And then you decide where it goes on the other side. And yes, there is a slight danger of stabbing yourself in the foot. But whenever you're working with sharp objects and sewing, you have to be prepared that you're going to stab yourself at least once. At least for me, I always am prepared that I'm going to stab myself at least once. Alright. See? And now you know where to sew. So I'm going to finish all of these and show you the end result. Alright. So I got it done. So this is where all the laces are going to go. Just going to quickly use that one. So you see where I lined everything up. So these red ones are for the laces. They're going to go about in the middle here. And then the yellows are for the elastics. And actual ballet dancers do use elastics in their points. That's the piece that's going across the top of the foot. So now, when we're going through this, it's going to be a really, really simple thing to do. You just take your elastic, you stick it in here, and then it's matched up to the other side, and you sew it in it. So I'll show you which way, how you're going to sew it in, what way you're going to follow. So I'm just grabbing some extra ribbon. Move these out of the way. So you take the ribbon, and then you lay it down. I'm just going to show you. So you're going to do it like this. You're going to try to do an X through the middle. So this is how you're going to sew it into place. And that goes for each and every one of them. So a closer look. Each one of these is going to have this pattern over it with the stitches. So with these outside ones, you're going to do just the whip stitches, and you're going to do a simple straight stitch for the middle.